Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the GuildMag podcast. Joining me today we have Casey as usual and Mr. Tea Maker Jason. Say
Hello.
hey guys.
Hi.
Oh my god, she unmuted her microphone. What's happening?
I did! Yay!
I'm going to try and move into my square.
I need to just move that
I'm
a
sort
little
of
bit.
off screen, really.
Yeah, it's all just your face.
Sorry,
up in this box.
don't have a decent webcam. Oh, God.
So yeah, as you guys can probably hear, I am losing my voice a little bit today. So we're doing the show anyway, but I expect to be squeaking at some point during this show, so like a 14-year-old child. So when that happens, just pity me.
Pity, yeah. I'm really worried about that because then I'm gonna have to do like the hosty stuff, and anyone who stayed during that time that you had to go out of the room during the podcast, and I'm sitting here like talking to myself, it was so awkward. So
Oh, God.
hopefully we can do the whole podcast with you being able to speak.
So yeah, speaking. Oh my god, it started already. So this week,
Need anyone to fill in, just say.
I'll go. So yeah, this week we're going to be talking about Halloween 2014, which was released 2 days ago, and some of the controversy surrounding the recent gem conversion changes that came with it. But before we go into all that, we are going to go to this week's news with Casey.
Yay! Okay, so the big thing that happened this week was the Halloween packs dropped. Yay! In case you didn't notice or haven't logged into the game or haven't seen it on anything. So the Mad King realm has returned with Halloween, along with all the decorations and all the fun candy corn and just the general theme things. So the Bloody Prince storyline has returned this year. It's not a new storyline, it's the same as last year. So yeah, it's all the same thing from last year, and there has been a ton of other things that came with this patch. But yeah, they are kind of like a retread of last year. With the gem store, we had the noble outfit, which is probably the most well-received outfit I've seen, which is kind of like this elegant sort of vampiric kind of outfit. A mini spooky trio, which is 3 minis, a creepy mini pack, which is also another 3 minis, have also hit the gem store, along with some other little bits and bobs, but nothing really big. And just a quick thing I wanted to mention, because there's not a lot to talk about it, I just thought I'd slot it in with the news. With the update, they have fixed the bug in fractals that made level 40 rewards less likely to drop than level 30 or 20. So now that it should be fixed, fingers crossed. So if you do fractals, this is really welcome news for you guys. And that's the
Yay! So yeah, should we just jump straight into talking about Halloween then? That's kind of the big thing that's talking about. So, Halloween 2014, same release as last year, Blood and Madness, but with some refreshed rewards, in quotation marks. So yeah, so like you said, we have the same Bloody Prince storyline, with the same achievement track, Blood and Madness again. I think, are there any new achievements this year? I think there's one. It's like a pumpkin carving one, I think.
The pumpkin carving was last year. There's a new achievement, which is the collections, which we're going to talk about later. They're the newer ones, but yeah, I don't think apart from that there's any new ones.
Yeah, so
I'm so uneducated on this app. I mean, I've downloaded it, so no one can have a go at me. But,
also, I should mention that the achievements, if you did any achievements last year, they've been refreshed for this year. So if you did all the storyline achievements and if you did all the storyline achievements, well, you've got to go back and redo them again, which
yeah. So,
if you have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
I mean, I kind of felt the same way about you. I logged in yesterday and saw them. It was literally just. I mean, they didn't even bother to change the name. It's literally just Blood and Madness again. It's not even like Blood and Madness 2014 or anything. It's same again. So I'm a bit kind of like you about it. Like it's not it's not bad content. And there's me squeaking. It's not bad content. It's just it would have been nice to have some new things. I think, and I think that's the general consensus.
Yeah, I think it's quite. Let's not talk about let's just keep on going and talk about all that stuff later on. Let's keep going.
Okay. So with Blood and Madness, then like last year we have the Mad King's Labyrinth, the Clock Tower that I can't do, Lunatic Inquisitions. Those are the big three game mode things that are out this year or there last year. So yeah, the Mad King's Labyrinth drop rates have been increased, has made it a viable farming experience. I didn't know that actually.
Man, you have no idea.
Really?
I could see that in chat. People were really excited, and I was like, "Yeah, it dropped, yeah."
Yeah. Well, of course, it's not going to last so long because nothing beautiful ever lasts forever. But you can spend probably an hour in the labyrinth and get 100 bags, which at the moment, at this point in time, translates to like 8 gold. Or something like that, which is very nice. And if you open up the bags, the drop rates in the bags have increased so much, man. I think there's 3 things per bag, and you get quite a lot of interesting stuff from it. So yeah, the labyrinth is actually a lot of fun if you have a Zerg going around with you. It doesn't actually have to be a Zerg, it can be a small group going around with a small group, and you do need to know the fight, so it doesn't really turn into a really one of those painful, like, just stand on the spot and just kill, don't worry about AoE, don't worry about anything. A lot of the fights you actually do have to be coordinated, and the commanders have to be kind of on top of what everyone's doing. But yeah, no, definitely it's a really great farming experience at the moment. I don't know what will happen when the prices drop. I don't know if the prices of the bags will drop or what will happen. But yeah, it's really nice at the moment.
Yeah,
Someone said it was great for leveling. Is that a lie?
I don't know. I thought you had to be 80 to get in there, but you're right. If you...
someone's...
Black Lion Chest, leveling in the labyrinth is as crazy as ever, particularly with XP and killstreak boosters. Love it. So I guess you just I seem to remember actually leveling a bit in there last year as well. I think you just boosted to 80, aren't you?
I said something that was true. And
no, actually I remember doing it the year before, and with the killstreak boosters at the moment, because they don't just die if you don't kill, the moment they would be amazing, I reckon. So that's amazing. That's really good.
I'm definitely gonna get in there and do that later.
We've got some comments in here that was, someone says, I really hate the Lich. I hate the Lich as well. I have wiped so many times there because people don't really quite know what even I don't quite know what the mechanics are completely. I'll just stand in the group and I don't know, that sort of thing. But yeah, they got a lot of good comments, loving the Batwing Brew Potion, which you become a cloud of bats, which is very cool.
Is that new this year? Or was that...
Yes, that potion is new this year.
I haven't seen that yet. Is it...
You just become like this little black cloud of bats, and it's very cool.
That sounds quite cool. So, in addition to Mad King's Labyrinth, and the Clock Tower is back, bane of my life. I
love the Clock Tower.
It's my life. Every Halloween I'm like, I can do the Clock Tower again.
Yes, me too. I look forward to it. But you, Rowan, I'm sorry to put you on blast, but you're kind of a sissy because you're like, you tried it 6 times, and after not getting it only 6 times, you're like, nah, too hard.
I was there for hours on the first Halloween. You've got to get the hang of it, Rowan.
I just get so mad. It's unreal. It's like I'm mad at my own incompetence with it. So it's like.
Have you watched videos of it to help you along?
I know what to do. I just can't do it.
Now, Rose's bedroom. There's like drawings of the clock tower, like axes like jump at 50 degrees.
It's just
getting the rhythm is hard. I find that sometimes when I play, I fall out of the rhythm and then like I just die in stupid places. But when I'm in the rhythm, it's really easy.
I was surprised that I could pick it up again straight away because I remember that on the second year I was bad at it again at first, but this year I've just done it.
I've seen. I think it was who was it? I think it was that shaman or someone, or maybe he retweeted it that it had like the maximum times you can do it in one of those sessions because it's like a PvP session. It's 5 times, and he screenshotted like doing it 10 times, getting 5 times, 10 times, that sort of thing. So that's dedication. That's really dedication. Really? And I just have to say, someone put in chat, Black Lion, back to the scrub tower for Valiant.
God, I'm gonna be
away with you.
I swear, all of this week I'm just gonna be practicing that for our Halloween show next week. So for those of you who don't know, who are listening now, next week is our Halloween special episode where we're going to be doing loads of little giveaways like we did with our Guild Wars 2 anniversary episode. Casey and I are going to be playing loads of different party games, in-game and out-of-game. We're going to have decorations up behind me. We're going to be... Casey and I are actually going to be in costumes, and it's just going to be a good time, so hopefully you can join us. It will be... one thing I do need to point out now, actually, while I remember, is for anyone living in the UK, on the 26th, the clocks go back an hour. So if you're watching in the UK now, it's 11 a.m. Next week, we will be on at 10 a.m. in the UK time because we'll be back on GMT. So just putting that out there for people.
We're changing times.
Yes, we are.
I hate that. I'm going to be like confused for months now.
So one thing that was on Reddit and I want to bring up is whatever happened to Reaper's Rumble, which was the MOBA style game. And for Casey who doesn't know what a MOBA is, just think League of Legends or Dota 2. It's like that sort of game.
Yeah.
So that's what Reaper's Rumble was based off, because you had like 3 different lanes and skeletons like went down and stuff. So that was in our very first Halloween for Guild Wars 2. It was in 2012, but it didn't make a reappearance for Blood and Madness in 2013, and obviously it's not back again this year because we're redoing Blood and Madness. So, I mean, I just kind of wanted to bring it up. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Did either of you two play it in 2012?
Yes. Oh, you know, I made this video earlier. Like I think it must have been the first year of Halloween, and it's got that Midnight Mountain King song, which goes da 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 da. That song.
Yeah.
And I remember I was on my Tiny Azura taking video for that music video. And in Reaper's Rumble, there was these massive cornfields that were really high. And as an Azura, you went through the cornfields and your character just disappeared. And all you saw was like the corn like moving as your Azura character went through it. So that's the only reason I remember it. But I do remember it was like the skeletons kept coming and you had like this little pumpkin patch in your base or something like that, and you had to throw the pumpkins into the patch or something.
Something like that. Yeah,
And you had a gourd rifle.
Yeah.
I maybe remember it.
It's like I remember the map and just running down the lanes and grabbing pumpkins and stuff, but I don't really remember what you had to do with them or anything.
I've got bleeding images coming through. You can see it now.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know why they chose to not bring it back for 2013, and then obviously this year.
Fun.
I mean, yeah, I saw I saw a lot of people playing it. I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things. So that's basically the general gist of what's happened this Halloween. We do have some new awards that came out this year. I think Casey's going to talk us through what they are.
So there's, I think I just remembered that I didn't put them all in. No, there's the new rewards. Good, I did put them all in. So the new rewards are kind of all over the place this year, which is very cool. A lot of people really like the way that they did the rewards this year. There seems to be more of a focus on the rewards coming from Candy Corn rather than the gem store. So the first outfit ever to be purchasable out of the gem store is actually the Hexed outfit, which is it's a reskin of the witch's outfit. But it's got kind of like this Asian influenced, what do you call those things? Like the hats, the straw hats, like that.
I know what you mean.
Very big in Thailand.
I don't know what they're called, but yeah.
So those straw hats that kind of come to a triangular point, and it's got one of those, and those big orbs around the chest and everything like that. Shut up, you!
I just saw you going big. I was just like,
this is amazing to watch.
Okay. So
big orbs.
Big, massive orbs.
So it's kind of okay. So it's the witch's outfit, but it's been tweaked a little bit and reskinned a little bit to make it look a little bit different and a little bit more Asian-y. And that shaman says it's called a sedge hat. Let me see if that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's a sedge hat. Thank you very much, that shaman.
That shaman knows everything there is to know.
I know, it's like a freaking walking encyclopedia.
It's the Wikipedia of life.
So there was also some other things you can get from Candy Corn, including the rare ghost cub.
I'm not even going to attempt to say that. You're on your own with that one.
Oh my word, that is a terrible name. So you can get two minis, which is the rare ghost cub and the tradable mini Zuzu cat of darkness. But I should probably say that right. Mini Zuzu cat of darkness.
Wait.
Which is just basically a reskin of the white Winter's Day kitten. You know, the white cat with the red thing? This is a black cat with an orange bow. So that's another reskin there. And these are purchasable with Candy Corn as well. I think it's really nice that we can purchase them with Candy Corn, especially the outfits. And I think that's a lot better to kind of... Because I found Candy Corn to be useless last year.
Yeah.
Almost useless last year, but this year it's really like you want it.
Yeah, I completely agree. It actually really reminds me of what they did in Guild Wars 1 with Winter's Day. With their Winter's Day things, you used to collect like candy canes, which you trade in for like all the rewards and stuff. So I really like that. So yeah.
I'll just keep on going about the other rewards?
Yeah.
They're in the there's whole new things coming out of the trick or treat bags. One of the things I really liked was the new utility consumables. These are like the sharpening stones and the oils and things like that. But these ones are a bit different. They only give you a buff after helping up downed players for like 15 seconds, and you can get the buff that they give you is like night stats or celestial stats or a condition stat set. So you'll get a buff to those. So you know if you res someone, you'll get like 20 or something. I can't remember the number, but a boost to your power, toughness, and vitality if you use the knight's one. So that's the pumpkin oil, the sharpening skulls, and the lumps of crystallized nougat. I really like them, not because of the buffs, but because they give you 30% magic find, which is great as I'm just going to keep them as just something to spam when I'm doing dungeons that don't really need sharpening stones and I don't want to waste it on it. I'll just keep them for the extra magic find.
Yeah.
So I quite like them a lot. I'm really happy that I really enjoy these seasonal foods. I can't wait for Dragon Bash because of all the stuff that comes out of Dragon Bash because of those items that they give out are very useful. they've got those extra things, and some other things that come out of the trick or treat bags are just like tonics and those sort of things. Toilet paper, throwable toilet paper, which is my favorite, and throwable eggs. They're back again this year. But yeah, so that's the new stuff. The what's it called? The utility consumables are very cool in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree, and it's nice to kind of have. I think it's quite cool the way you get it when you res a down player. I think that's quite an interesting mechanic.
Random question.
Yeah.
Sorry. Are we getting Dragon Bash again? Is that actually seasonal? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Is it?
Is it?
I have no.
No one knows.
Well,
I don't think it is.
we'd be able to answer it if it came back last year, but I don't.
Well, because there was a very specific story tied to it, wasn't it?
Was there one this year in June?
No.
No. We've only ever had one.
Everything
So
went
it's
wrong.
not seasonal.
There was like
Damn it!
assassination.
I don't. God, we're so good at knowing our stuff.
I know, this is
I love
so
that I
bad.
gave the correction. That makes me so happy.
Dragon Bash.
Just some people have said in chat, Wedge7 said the plus 30% magic find from the utility consumables is great for the PvP reward track chest opening, because when you're in the PvP track, when you open chests and those sort of things, they're affected by magic find. So that's really cool. And yeah, Black Glancher says it's not seasonable, and someone says it's a tab. So that makes me very sad.
Oh, God.
Well, wasn't it based on the old Dragon Festival from Guild Wars 1, which was seasonal?
But then they also, it sort of was, but then they had like a whole other story tied to it. I forgot, wasn't there like an assassination or something?
Yeah,
it all
but
went wrong.
Yeah.
It always
Maybe they it didn't fit into their living story, so they just went out the window. And
It is in the Guild Wars lore. It is a bit of an odd time right now to go. Oh yeah, we killed all the dragons. Oh wait, there's killing.
Yeah.
And I think because that guy got assassinated and we're still feeling the repercussions, it would be a bit odd.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Oh well.
So yeah, you've put a link on Reddit
Yes.
about that people really liked it that way.
So yeah, just something I wanted to bring up is the Reddit post was titled "Something ArenaNet Did Right This Patch," and this kind of came out at the same time that all the gem conversion controversy was out, which we'll talk about in a bit. It's basically just saying that it's great that there's lots of new rewards that aren't tied to the gem store, because I think a lot of players have been feeling recently that a lot of the rewards you get from seasonal stuff and just generally have come through the gem store. There's been a lot of new outfits and weapon skins lately, and I completely agree. I think it's really nice to see things like the Hexed outfit, which is the first outfit you don't have to go to the gem store to make an appearance like that. So I just kind of generally agree.
No, I think that's a really good idea to make it earnable instead of something that's because when you put it in the gem store, you basically are saying this is premium content. You only should get this if you're willing to pay for the premium amount, and some people aren't willing to pay for the premium amount, so it's really cool to have something earnable in game.
Yeah, definitely. I think half ArenaNet's argument has always been that you can always convert gold to gems, and it's always earnable that way. But I mean, it's a high price to pay. When you actually think about how much gold you have to convert to gems to be able to get them, the amount of work that's involved, it's really
not worth it.
Yeah, it's really like,
does it?
I honestly, whenever I want something from the gem store, I just immediately pay real money for it because I just can't be bothered converting my gold to gems. I'd rather just have that gold for other stuff. So yeah, that's just something I want to point out with that. Speaking of gem store and weapons, though, Halloween Black Lion weapons are back. Do you want to
Yes.
talk through that a bit?
Yeah, so the new... just mention, because I was thinking about multiple things there, so I got a little bit... just had to mention that there are actually taking away some of the weapon collections from the Black Lion thing. So I think it's Lovestruck and some other ones that they are taking away from it. I don't know if it's going to be permanent, but you're not going to be able to get it whenever you like, which really always happens. I recently sold my Lovestruck dagger, and the price is going to go up so much now because they've announced this, and I just only recently sold it. So some of the Black Lion weapons are going to disappear, so make sure you check which ones are going to disappear before, if they're weapons that you want. What about Halloween is that the Halloween Black Lion weapons have come back to the gem store, and I think they're 1 or 2 tickets at the moment, and they are actually part of the new collections with this. They're 2,
they're 2.
Because last year there'd be 1, and this year there'll be 2.
I think they're 2. So chat will correct me if I'm wrong. But
yeah, we just have to wait
Chat
for like 50 seconds lag. The new collections have come out. So the collection is the Black Lion Halloween weapons, which include the Silly Scimitar and the Bloodprint Staff and all those sort of things. The Dead Stop Shield, which is the gravestone, those ones. So if you get all of them and complete the collection, I think you get 5 Black Lane tickets. And there is actually a different collection, which is the Halloween collection for the Halloween goodies, which include all the Halloween themed food and the toilet paper and the eggs and that sort of thing, and you get this collection. It's a kind of like a hidden collection. You get it from the old pillowcase, which is a rare drop from the trick or treat bags or the clock tower chest, and when it drops, you unlock the collection, and when you complete it, you get a mini candy corn Golamental. Is it Golamental or Golamental? Mini candy corn elemental, but it's meant to be a ghoul, so it's Golamental. So, yay! Puns. Yeah, so it's basically a mini candy corn elemental with like this green tinge on the top of it. So I think it's very cool. That's a really cool way to make the collections incorporated into it.
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah, I'll just go. Sorry,
say apparently the old pillowcase can be bought on the trading post.
Someone said they spent 3 gold for it, but I think it's back down to 2 or something like that now.
That's interesting.
And also just have to quickly say, Lexi from our chat Guild Wars 2, Lexi said that it's going to be, now I've lost it. That the Lovestruck Jade, Dragon's Jade, Aetherblade, Fused, and Dream Thistle weapons are the ones that are going to be leaving the gem store, so you won't be able to get them again until later.
So,
well,
so that's all for collections.
All the So I've managed to confuse myself with these show notes we've got written down. I think that next point is meant to be for you as well, but it seems to have my name.
I'm just along for the ride.
So we got so something really cool. Talking about Black Lion weapons, something really cool that came out was. A lot of us were wondering whether they were going to bring the year 1 Black Lion weapons back, which these ones are really rare. They're like worth thousands of gold now, which are the Ghastly Grinning Shield.
Oh, I love that
yeah.
I know. And the Grinning Ghastly Shield and the Grinning Gourd, which is the rifle. There's the Scythe staff and... the 2-handed greatsword, chainsaw, or 1-handed chainsaw. They're all like really cool ones that people really want, and a lot of effort have gone into those. I mean, the chainsaw freaking has its own custom noise, and whenever you pull it out, it goes. My beautiful chainsaw impression there. So a lot of people were wondering if they're bringing it back, but I think ANET was very considerate in the sense that they didn't if they brought them back, it would just tank the prices and it would just seem really, odd. so what they've done is they've brought him back, but they've brought him back in a really odd way, and I really do like this. It's a game-wide raffle. So basically, when you open trick or treat bags, you have a chance to get a foil candy wrapper, which can be collected and given to a scrit in the ruins of the trading post, and this scrit will collect the wrappers, and then if he says that he has a scary box, and when you look inside the scary box, it shows that it has like 200 or 100 ghastly shields, 100 scythe, 100, all these year one Black Lion skins, and so basically you're in a raffle to win one of those, which I think is really cool, man. Like, it's a way of introducing them into the economy without just completely blowing it up.
Yeah.
And this really cool raffle element I like the idea. So just before I bring up the second point, do you guys like this idea of the raffle?
Yeah, I really like the fact that it's included in the trick or treat bags as well as a chance to drop, because it's kind of like, in a sense, everyone's got a chance to enter it now because you don't have to go out your way to specially try and enter the raffle.
I like it's just a unique way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
Instead of tanking the marketplace or whatever.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's really interesting. I mean, I like the way they're doing it. I definitely think there's potential to like do more of these sorts of raffles for other weapons. I think it's a really cool way.
I think it really feels like I know it sounds very silly, but it kind of emphasizes this sense of community, like community raffles and that sort of thing. The second point I wanted to bring up was about the pay to win aspect of it, which is you can buy 25 wrappers off the gem store. Now, the people might, you can randomly get them from bags, or you can pay money or in-game money and buy the wrappers off the gem store. Thing is that it's infinitely easy. If you have a ton of money, you just put in, and you're guaranteed, almost not guaranteed to get it. I'm kind of messing this up. The point that I wanted to say is that many people are kind of like, oh, is this a pay to win thing? And the point I'm trying to make is I don't believe it's a pay to win, because you can sink in all your money and there's still a chance that you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
And I think I really like the fact that you can. I honestly feel like. Sometimes I feel like ArenaNet takes advantage of lazy people. Like, if you don't want to farm, you just want to get it and you want to spend your money, and money is no object to you. You get them off the gem store. ArenaNet gets money to fund their game, and honestly, I do believe that you'll probably have the same chance as people who are opening trick or treat bags.
I mean,
by farming.
I don't really mind that. That was always the way they really pitched the gem store when they were releasing the game, is that you can do everything you want. If you want to work for it in game, you can get everything you want. Otherwise, if you want a shortcut, you don't have enough time to play or whatever, then the gem store's there for you to pay real money in exchange for time, basically, like less time to get them. So yeah, I mean, I suppose it a little bit depends on how easily you can get the wrappers. I mean, 25. Like, how long would it take to get 25 from trick or treat bags normally?
So I've opened about 250 trick or treat bags, and I got 3 wrappers.
Right. Okay.
And an hour of farming in the labyrinth will get you from 100 to 150 trick or treat bags.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, it's not that.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not. Oh God, it's not too
pitchfork
bad.
worthy. It's not pitchfork worthy.
No. And I can see in our chat, like, no one's chatted about it. Like, no one's put their own opinion in the chat, and that's like everyone in the chat's like at peace with this situation. Yeah. No one's got a strong thing. So I obviously maybe the people are more concerned with.
I mean, I think compared to other things that have been going on this week, it's not really that big a deal.
Dancing around the elephant in the room.
Yeah. So I think it's probably time we kind of got to the elephant in the room then, considering it's been like half an hour into the show already. So, and your cam just unfroze. It's been frozen for like good 5 minutes.
Hallelujah. We have sight.
So,
I look so unhappy in what it's frozen too.
so yeah, two big elephants in the room then. First of all, we're going to talk a little bit about the discontent in the community with the Blood and Madness patch. And then we'll move on to the gem store conversion stuff. And God, your camera is so far behind what you're actually say. Like,
I think we're looking at footage from like the 80s.
I don't know, like, do you want to try and restart it maybe?
All right, I'm gonna turn off my camera and turn it back on
Okay.
again.
I feel like we're seeing everything that Ali like did in the past 10 minutes while the cancelled.
Oh, I like how like I said, oh, you know, our chat is quiet about the script thing, and then it explodes and people talking about the script. They're like, oh, well, we meant to talk about it. Let's talk about it now when they've moved on. Is that any better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Okay, so people this year, let's talk about Blood and Prince storyline, Blood and Madness returning. So this year, I mean, we were talking about this last week, that we were kind of hoping that the story would continue. That was until we actually realised it wouldn't, and obviously now it hasn't. And they could basically, it's literally exactly the same as last year. So you get a mail when you log in saying, "Oh no, something mysterious is going on. There's this box. We don't know what it is. It's not
I
like."
really want Rowan to do like like hype adverts. Like, oh no, something mysterious is going on. Oh, the mystery.
Oh god. So yeah, it's. I mean, they say, "Oh, there's a mysterious box. You know, we've never encountered it before. Someone's gone missing. Come and help." And it's like, I would do, but it's a bit of deja vu going on right now. Like, I feel like we've done this before, you and I.
Yeah.
I
I totally agree. Like the storyline that they brought the Mad King's son, and they talked about like the Mad King seemed like this sympathetic character at first, and then you found out that he's kind of nuts himself. You know, he's kind of like, you killed my mother to the prince in the Mad Realm, and the king is like, no, you did that. You played pin the tail on the drake, but you pinned your mother, you know, to the drake, and he's like, I did that, you know, and he's like, oh, I don't, you know, and he kind of has this big story going on, and he seems like a larger life character, and, you know, he's trying to stage a coup, you know, and, you know, the forces fighting. There's potential. Like, when someone thought up that storyline, I guarantee you that whoever wrote that storyline had this massive art planned for this whole thing. And now it's kind of like, oh, okay, it's the same as last year. And I kind of understand why they're doing it. China kind of needs a chance to catch up, and they're really focused on living story at the moment. And obviously something happened where they're just like, we cannot do Halloween this year. And, you know, I don't think I honestly, like, a lot of people are saying this, but I honestly don't think they're sitting in their desk going, how can we save money this year? How can we exploit the gamers? I don't think ArenaNet is like that. I do think that they can occasionally drop the ball because they're human beings, and I drop the ball. Everyone drops the ball. But
yeah.
My cat just attacked me really randomly. I think I scared her. She just came up to me and went, rah! And I was like,
We always just watched a murder. It's like a crime scene investigation.
A witness. Can you please tell me again what happened? I was just sitting there and the camera's like, oh my god! They should have me on one of those shows. But okay, so I think this Halloween, it is disappointing, don't get me wrong. I played out in my mind how this could go, and I love the prince, as much as you can love a freaking psychopath, kind of. Thank God he's not real. But I am disappointed, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. I mean, there's a quote from Black Lion Chess in chat that I'd read out, but it's massive. So
I have to go back and read it.
I'll just go for it. I'll man up. So
man up.
Black Lion Chess said, I have no problem with them bringing it back exactly. I loved it last time and I love it this time. I'm happy with the updated rewards and would rather ANET spent the dev time to make the upcoming Living Story patches better and better.
I'm definitely hyped, so I hope
Yeah,
that's the
I mean, we kind of covered this last week, but we can go over it again with Jason here now as well.
Wait.
So, yeah, I'm kind of feel the same. Like, I don't mind because I mean, it doesn't bother me that I don't have like the Halloween story to go and play again this year because I'm not going to replay it because I've done it all once already. So it doesn't bother me that that's not an option for me to do this year. If like the big caveat is if the second half of season 2 lives up to warranting the extended break they've taken on it and not devoting time to Halloween. So I mean, yeah, it's a bigger. I think it will do based on what we saw with the first half of season 2. I mean, we talked about that in depth a lot when obviously each release came out, and generally it was pretty good. So
Yeah.
I'm just
I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I think there's something big coming.
Yeah.
And either it's like we talked about the expansion. I believe there's expansion and they're doing all the lead up to an expansion, like getting the story ready and getting us ready for this big expansion. And so obviously they're going to want to work really hard on it. And I think that honestly they're probably pushing a lot of things to the side to get that done. And we've said it before, Arena is got a small company mindset.
Yeah.
It's a small company paying in a big company's pool. They honestly I believe they don't have the numbers. They haven't recruited enough people to deliver all the things that people are expecting of them.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about a lot of the other MMOs in the market that have as big as and bigger player bases in Guild Wars 2, the actual development teams behind them are massive. I mean, you think of Blizzard for World of Warcraft, Square Enix Final Fantasy, people trying games for Rift. It's the teams doing them are massive, and when you actually think about Arena, it's a small company that's grown massively in a time span of only 2 years, or well, a bit longer than that, because obviously developing Guild Wars 2, they were growing the team and whatnot then, but I mean, we've said this before, I still think they're kind of finding their feet with how to manage a big MMO like Guild Wars 2. And, I mean, for them to obviously not devote much development time to this Halloween patch, knowing that people were, really wanted it and were waiting for Halloween because they do holiday events really, really well and they know that they're popular. So for them to deliberately not devote development time to it means they must be devoting it somewhere else. So I agree with what you said, like something big is coming, whether or not it's an expansion, I don't know. I mean,
I just really hope whatever it is, we get some transparency on it soon.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing.
If we have another massive break after like the end of season 2 and we don't hear anything about anything, that'll be just a proper downer.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, that transparency has never been their strongest point, really. I mean, I think players will be happy even if we were just told that.
I mean, they did when Guild Wars 2 was in development. They went, "Hey, here's Guild Wars Either North. We're now gone for a couple of years. We're going to sort this out. Keep yourself busy."
Yeah,
that's a massive amount of transparency, but it worked.
Yeah, and I feel like even if they just said, "Hey, we're not going to give you a new storyline this Halloween or any new real content because we're finishing," even if they just said because we're finishing season 2 or because we're developing an expansion, I'd be happy. I don't care about not having any details about what they're about. I just care about knowing that they're actually doing something. I think a lot of people feel the same way as well. So yeah.
I think we should go quickly because we're running out of time. We should probably go to the next thing.
Let's move on then. So the other big elephant in the room, which got Reddit in a massive hype and kind of made it to all the big gaming fan sites like IGN, PC Gamer, that sort. I think it meant PC Gamer. I'm not entirely sure, but it's definitely on IGN anyway. Is the Gem Store conversion alteration thing. So basically, this is where previously you could convert gold to gems, gem to gold in any quantity you could afford or wanted to. Well, did it cap at 250 and you had to do it multiple times? I'm not sure. But anyway, basically any quantity you could just type in. And now they've changed it that you select from a predefined amount of gold to convert to gems or gems to convert to gold. And I think
the minimum is 400.
The minimum is 400, and that's the real. I suppose that's half the big thing. Is the minimum is 400, and you cannot select a custom amount at the moment. And this got everyone kind of, as people tend to do, they all kind of jumped on this massive bandwagon of, oh, this is terrible, you know, and started hating on the arena quite badly. I mean,
I think it's important to say that the points they made were not invalid.
No,
the way not. That the thing that invalidated their points is the way that they said it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been playing this game for 3 years and 2 years.
3 years? Where have you been?
Don't know where I'm going to through another year from. And one thing that one phrase that constantly comes up is ArenaNet doesn't care, ANET is out of touch, you know, yada, yada, yada. And it really, like, makes me avoid those topics, even though if you read it, those people have good points. It's just the way that they're saying it is just...
Yeah, that always seems to be the issue.
Yeah.
Constantly. I mean, I'm glad that they're changing this particular thing back anyway.
Yeah, I mean...
But it's another issue with transparency, like, if they'd said, as they were working on this is a change that might happen.
Yeah,
and they've got to save themselves a massive amount of work.
Exactly. It feels like it's just come out of nowhere for no particular reason. I mean, the argument they gave was that it was because new players were struggling with the system. I mean, we've already talked about when we were new players, did we struggle with systems? I didn't particularly struggle with how to convert gold.
I think I should get rid of jumping. I didn't know it was on the specs.
But I think
they don't do all that. Sorry.
No, go on.
They don't do all that bad. They're just bad at communicating it, really.
Yeah. I mean,
I think a lot of people felt like this was a way for them to get more money. Like they were using it to make people buy gems instead of and they have a certain point, because the things that they mentioned was new players couldn't use the old system, but as a new player you're not going to have the money to convert I think it was like 86 gold for 400 gems or something like that, which they don't have, as a new player. You just don't have that. And if you do start getting that amount of money, you're proficient enough at the game to be able to figure out, you're not completely devoid of any intelligence. And on top of that, I think a lot of people were upset that the graph had been removed, so you could no longer buy at the lowest or sell at the highest. And and I honestly do feel like, I don't know if it was a money ploy. I don't want to think about that. But it was the wrong decision. I honestly do feel like they took away things and didn't give back as much,
Yeah.
Why did they take away the graph? Why did they take away choice? If you've got more, don't take away and expect people to be happy with less,
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, so we should just point out that they have since said that they're going to be adding a custom quantity purchase to the existing system, so you will be able to type in custom amounts again. But I feel like that should have been there from the beginning. I see no reason why. I mean, surely someone somewhere made a conscious decision not to include that, because there's no way.
You don't not include that.
Yeah, I mean,
because some less people use it. Someone might find it confusing. It's a custom. It's fairly well known word. Really.
Yeah, I mean it's. There's no way when they were designing this new system that the thought didn't creep into their head that should we still allow people to include custom values or not, and somewhere down the line someone said no, and I don't get that as a choice. As a decision to make. So I'm glad that they're kind of reverting back and now keeping the current system where you can choose blocks, and for new players who maybe don't understand it, great, you know, there you go. And then for people who do want it, there will be a button. So I'm happy with that. I've got no problems with that. Apart from, like you said, the graph now, still there's no mention of that, so I'm guessing that's still going to be missing.
I just want to say, in the interest of transparency, because I was quite against it, Black Lion Chest made a few comments that were very for the new system. Yeah. I just wanted to say what he said. So Black Lion Chest says, I think the new gem UI is a definite improvement for the vast majority of players. They did not drop the ball by behaviour for veterans, i.e. X gold for Y gems, but that's a minor tweak and is generally a positive change. The old system did suck. You had to go down and up for a few copper to find the rounding point and to get the exact number of gems you needed. That's very true. They're also going to change it so now you can change X gold for Y gems, and he says that, you know, he just wished that the player base didn't become such a frenzy.
Yeah.
I don't like the reaction. It's a very common reaction when players feel like they're starting to get ripped off, because as soon as ANET becomes a money-hungry corporation that just does everything to suck money out of me, there's nothing I can do except for walk away from the game. And I don't want to lose, you know, Guild Wars. And I get how people feel in that sense, but so their reaction, like, instead of like going, I don't want to lose Guild Wars because I'm scared that they're becoming into a money-hungry corporation and they don't care about the players anymore, they become these angry, savage creatures of the night that, like, they don't care about us.
Yeah.
I quickly wanted to make a point just to quickly say, one of the things that I was very unhappy about, that I felt wasn't very good, was Gail Gray made a comment like trying to explain things and stuff on the forums, but she's meant to be like a community manager. Like, this is her experience, this is all she did in Guild Wars 1, and I don't know if she normally interacted with people this way in Guild Wars 1, and I'm just a little bit, you know, she's meant to be like this and I'm just a bit like, oh, you know. But someone said no one ever asked for this on the forums, and she made a comment of, so you know, if no one ever asked for this on the forums, good for you, like that sort of attitude. And I think that anyone who had read that guy's comment would have thought the same thing back, like wanted to reply the same thing back, but she's meant to be a community manager, and no matter what, that comment was sarcastic, and as a community manager, you're meant to be above guys like that. I mean, I'm not defending the guy. The guy was a tool, but she's meant to be above it, and I don't think that's a great way, because it was actually that comment, I think, that made people go, oh, you know, they're losing touch, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Gail is she's always been the kind of no BS kind of community manager thing. She will tell you what she thinks of you kind of thing.
She must, yeah.
At the same time, like, things like that obviously don't go towards helping the situation. I mean, especially, obviously she knew the kind of uproar that was going on at the time. I say at the time, it was basically just like a few days ago, as if it was like months ago, but no, it wasn't. But so I don't think like comments like that really help at that point, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think there was a comment before that as well where she goes, I'm sorry to say, like in brackets, I'm sorry to say, but you're all just ranting. And I'm like, yes, they are ranting. Everyone who reads it knows that they're ranting. They probably know that they're ranting, you know, but just dismissing, going, oh, you're just ranting. That's not your job, you know, like you're meant to like calm this down a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, if that's the way she does things, and people really liked her.
Yeah,
that's the way she does things. But personally, I don't think it really helped. But you know, each to her own. If she wants to be like that, she bees like that. More power to
her. So yeah, I think we've kind of covered the gem store, gem conversion thing. Then, I mean, obviously it's a big thing, and once again, I feel like we do this every time something big like this happens. It's just like, please just don't all jump on the bandwagon and all go into a massive uproar, because, I mean, you can argue that it got results and that it's being changed, but I'm sure there's better ways we could have gone about it as a community. Anyway, yeah, we're going to move on now because we are running out of time. Two good notices to end on. Happy times. So the first I want to point out is that Pink Day in LA 2014 is this weekend. Happens this Saturday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And for anyone that doesn't know what Pink Day in LA is, it's basically an annual event that's run by Gamers Giving Back and Gaming World Entertainment Network and a whole host of guilds and fan sites and just a big community thing. And it's happened since 2007? 2007? It's something like that. Happened in Guild Wars 1, came over to Guild Wars 2, and it's basically a massive in-game event that aims to raise money for the Canadian Cancer Society and breast cancer. And there's loads of in-game activities, loads of prizes to win. They've actually had a preliminary prize list revealed, and it's got just so much stuff, man. It's, in-game prizes, out-of-game prizes like T-shirts and merchandise from other games as well, Guild Wars 2, and it's just, I encourage absolutely everyone who's watching now and listening to just get involved if you can. Even if you can't make it on the day, you can still donate through their website. They actually have a little leaderboard kind of thing of the server that's donated the most, which I think is quite cool. So if you make a donation and include your server, it gets added to that total. So if you're on Tarnished Coast especially, you better go along with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, just definitely get involved in that. And then, speaking of prizes and chance to win stuff, just another reminder that next week is the GuildMag Halloween podcast episode. So we've got loads of prizes to give away.
If you remember how much fun the anniversary episode was, this is going to be double the fun, double the prizes.
There may be twerking again, I don't know, can't promise.
I have to figure out a new name for Annie the anniversary
Tumblr. Oh,
yes. What's it called? Hallie the Halloween. Hattie the Halloween Tumblr.
You need to give her a makeover, put fangs on her and blood dripping down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're so smart.
So yeah, 10 a.m. GMT next week. Remember, UK, that is 10 a.m. UK time, not 11 anymore. Loads of prizes. Casey and I will be doing forfeits and challenges and in-game stuff, out-of-game stuff. All you guys in chat are going to be involved. We've got gems to give away. We've got our very own trick or treat in-game bags to give away, which are going to be filled with some good goodies. And there will be an opportunity to win a couple of prizes for anyone that doesn't manage to join us live as well. We haven't worked out what they are yet, but it will be something good, I promise. So
I think the thing that I'm looking forward to most is Rowan having to eat or drink something really gross if he doesn't get up the clock tower in 3 tries.
I thought you were going to make him drink alcohol when I read that.
Well,
I was like, oh, that's great.
Originally, I was planning on doing a shot, just shots of just something, but I realised that please. I couldn't, because basically an hour after the show ends, I have a lecture to go to, so I can't really turn up drunk to that. So yeah, instead, both Casey and I are going to do, we're going to basically do shots of disgusting drink concoctions that...
I'm thinking tomato sauce, orange juice, and salt would be disgusting.
So yeah, it's stuff like that. For mine, I'm going to give chat the opportunity to decide what I put into mine each time. I don't know if Casey will as well. I might force her to let chat decide what she wants to drink, but we'll see.
No, I don't have a pantry that big. They're going to be like, put this in. I'm like, I haven't got it.
You think I do? Student pantry is basically one cupboard with
That's true.
So
shots of Vegemite.
I actually like... It's called Marmite in the UK. I actually like that, so...
Oh, what are you?
So anyway, so do make sure you join us if you can. It's going to be a load of fun. The show will probably be longer than an hour next week, just because we've got so much stuff to cram into it. And we will be talking... Obviously, we're doing the usual podcast, talking about stuff as well as having all the fun. So yeah, those 2 events. get involved if you can. And I think that's about it for this episode. Unless either you two have anything else you want to bring up.
No.
I was gonna say something like stay.
Trying to
in
think of
school.
something really philosophical. But I just
What's it called? Stay in drugs, don't do school.
Oh god. So yeah, thank you for everyone that's joined us this week. Don't forget we're live every Thursday, 10 a.m. GMT, twitch.tv/GuildMag if you fancy coming along and chatting to us. Promise my voice will be better for next week. It's probably been horrible for everyone listening to me. It's horrible for me listening to me right now.
Honestly,
right.
Yeah,
when I
fine.
listen to you, my throat hurts. I've drunken all my water because I'm like, God damn it, he sounds like he's in pain. I need to drink something.
Oh god.
SIBO effect for illness.
Right, you need to just see the amount of like medical supplies I have in here. It's like so yeah, we will hopefully see you all again next week. Big thank you to joining us. And yeah, so bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Oh god.